The drama series Pachinko is currently showing on Apple TV+. Pachinko is the epic saga following 4 generations of Korean family, beginning the early part of the 20th century and ending many decades later in 1989, as they endured the Japanese oppression and discrimination both in Korea and in Japan. The series is based on the 2017 novel of the same name by Korean-American author Lee Min-jin. She emigrated with her parents at the age of 7. It was a finalist for the National Book Award in the United States. The main protagonist, Kim Sun-ja, was born in Korea, had 2 sons in Japan, and has a grandson living in the United States. So there are 2 words that runs through the Pachinko: 이주, migration, and 이민, immigration and emigration. Looking at the history of the world, people left their places of residence voluntarily or unwillingly to survive. After the invasion by Japanese armed forces in 1910, Japan's expropriation and agricultural policy rapidly brought down the Korean farmers. After suffering from poverty, Koreans left for Manchuria, China, Russia, Japan, and even the United States to survive and to fight for independence. The Korean diaspora began. Okay, let's set off to meet Sun-ja. On this journey, we will meet her through 2 songs. One song supports her, and the other song comforts her by telling who she is. I think these 2 songs are a medium of what Sun-ja wants to leave to her descendants. This is the first song, Let's Live for Today. 오늘을 위해 살자. This is the rock band The Grassroots version released in 1967. The series' joyous opening features all the main characters dancing in a brightly lit pachinko parlor while this song plays. It's a bit confusing that the opening has such a bright atmosphere, but the series deals with the hardships of the Japanese colonial period. Is this song selection an odd or wrong choice for pachinko? No, I don't think so. The migrants always needed to focus on the family and the future. It means they never took time for themselves and never had the luxury of living for today. Sun-ja's grandson also emigrated to the United States in search of undiscriminated land, but lives as an outsider. Those who have left and crossed the borders are still living as marginal men. So this opening seems to be a dedication or consolation, hoping that all outsiders and marginal men can enjoy the present. Outsiders are 이방인 and marginal men are 경계인. Here's one interesting story. Look at the band's name. It's The Grassroots. In China, Japan, and Korea, the term people has been called 민초. It literally means grass people and translated as grass roots. In particular, in Korea, 민들레, 꽃다지, and 쑥부쟁이 symbolize the vitality of people, because these grasses do not die when stepped on, but rise again as if resisting. It seems to be in line with what the Americans say grassroots democracy for mass democracy. I don't know if it's a coincidence or an intentional choice, but I think this song fits well with the theme that runs through the series. If you read the first sentence of the original novel, you will understand what I mean. History has failed us, but no matter. 역사가 우리를 망쳐놓았지만 그래도 상관없다. This phrase contains the message that individuals cannot beat history, but there is still hope to start over. In the end, Sonja survived not by defeating hardships, but by enduring them. To endure, 견디다. History is a story about human endurance. So maybe that's why this series Pachinko stresses the word endurance so much. Now let's think about the title of the series Pachinko. Pachinko is a legal gambling game in Japan. Korean immigrants started the pachinko business because it was difficult to find a job due to the racial discrimination. Sonja's son runs the pachinko business, and even her grandson, who went to Yale University, decides to take over his father's pachinko business. Pachinko symbolizes the chain of fate that imprisoned Koreans in Japan. I mean, players can't win the possibility game by their own will. That's the life of Koreans living in Japan. However, even though the life bounces back and forth at every moment of history, like the marble of Pachinko, Sonja survived. Okay, now shall we meet another song? That's 뱃노래, a traditional folk song. It literally means a boat song. The fisherman sings 뱃노래 while rowing and pulling nets.
에노야야 노야 그렇지 에야 노야 노기 여차 뱃놀이가 잔다.
As you know, Korea is a peninsula surrounded by sea on three sides. So many boat songs are transmitted to many coastal areas. Among them, this song is the most popular one. It came from the coastal area of the East Sea. Can you find Yeongdo, the hometown of Sonja? Yes, there is a Donghae, the East Sea, on the right, and then you can see Gyeongsangdo Province and 부산광역시 영도구 at the bottom. Yeongdo is a little fishing island in Busan. In the series, the fishermen and dock workers live in a boarding house run by Sonja's parents, are singing 뱃노래, drinking 막걸리 after work. Makgeolli was the most loved by ordinary people since history, just like a modern soju. Borders suffer under Japanese imperial rule, so they are bursting with anger, rage, resentment, drinking makgeolli. Eventually, the fisherman is arrested by the Japanese officers who got to know his revolutionary ideas. As he is dragged along, he sings 뱃노래 again, looking at the crying Sonja in the crowd. The memory left lasting impact on Sonja. And as the years passed, her grandson grew up listening to grandmother's song. After returning from America, the grandson plays song at the piano unconsciously. Let's take a look at the lyrics of 뱃노래. 만경창파에 몸을 실리어 갈매기로 벗을 삼고 싸워만 가누나. 에야노 야노야 에야노 야노 어기여차 뱃놀이 가잔다. These lyrics contain their hard and lonely life, and we can feel the spirit of challenge that doesn't give in. And in the chorus, the word 뱃놀이 focuses on entertainment. And also in the chorus, labor is sublimated into a sublime act and a fun play. Here's something very interesting. Did you hear 얼쑤, 얼씨구, 그렇지? 판소리 is a kind of Korean traditional musical performed by a singer and a drummer. In pansori, those sounds inserted between the song by drummer or audience to enhance the excitement. In English, it can be translated as cheers. It's similar to the filler words such as come on in English. On the other hand, inland boat songs are not only work songs, but excursion songs with entertainment elements. They enjoy boat trips, talking with friends, listening to music, and writing poetry. Now let me introduce you 21st century version of 뱃노래. It's a little different from the Borders chorus, right? 어기야 디어차, 어허야 디야, 어기여차, 뱃놀이 가잔다. It's because the lyrics changed depending on the region and the chorus changed with the times. But it's not always a sad song. Korea University and Yonsei University has been promoting friendship like Oxford and Cambridge University. The two universities hold sports competitions every year. Look at the picture. Those in blue are Yonsei University and in red are Korea University. At that time, Korea University's cheering song is 뱃노래. Wow, it looks really exciting. They sing while acting the rowing. It was the Korean University's after party on the street near the campus after winning the competition in 2018. Did you catch? They wrote new lyrics. 즐거운 고연전 날에 연대생 우는 소리 치고 가는 연대생이 철양도 하구나. 어기야 디어차, 어기야 디야, 어기여차, 뱃놀이 가잔다. If Yonsei students listen to this song, they will be very annoyed. I think music is one of the indicators that reveal the era. In this sense, 뱃노래 of the pachinko was used as a medium to remember the past, endure the present, and say hope for the future. 역사가 우리를 망쳐놓았지만 그래도 상관없다.